Hey guys, and welcome to a showdown between myself under the guise of Melonlord leading the mighty men of the Empire up against the Greenskin Menace and Bode Bobber. This was a quick battle, so we were trying out some pretty experimental stuff. And oh yes, we have gone for the double flaming juicy Hellblaster combo to make trolls shake in their boots. And that's right, 2 Hellblaster volley guns in the central pocket of our battle line, accompanied by a warrior priest who is currently lifting that hammer of Sigma into the sky and chanting battle cries. He's coming in with all the standard stuff as well as Scroll of Shielding, but the item we're going to be looking at today is the Banner of Eternal Flame. Gives everything within 40 meters fire damage and better base weapon damage. Now, the base weapon damage won't affect the long range of these glorious artillery pieces, but it does, as you can see, give them fire ammunition, which is going to be pretty good fun at trying to take down trolls as well as Grom and other such units. Apart from that, we have a bucket ton of halberdiers in the front line and on the flanks, accompanied by more cheap and cheerful spearmen who are currently hiding in the woods and in the secondary battle formation, alongside the unbreakable Sigma Sons. Our entire infantry corps here is designed to protect those 2 glorious artillery pieces. We have a Light Wizard coming in with the net, which of course is going to combine once again with the Hellblaster, plus a blast, Power Stone, and fast protection. We also have the Silver Bullets as a sneaky secondary damage dealing unit, and the mighty Volkmar the Grim bringing in all the goodies in that front line, looking to run over goblins and other such units. Now for my opponent, we do have, of course, the classic skirmish cavalry contingent over on this flank, a bucket ton of Forest Goblin Spider Rider archers, but also some Goblin Wolf Riders in there, trying to get these boys some love. We're going to pet those little doggos. Well, obviously, the Wolf Rider is far cooler than the Spider Riders, but unfortunately a little less competitive. For the main battle line, it is very wide, with nasty Skulkers on the flank, triple Black Orcs as well, and a ton of cheap and cheerful Goblins just here ready for a good scrap in the central portion of the battlefield. Looks like my opponent is going for a bit of a flank overload on this left-hand side, while he distracts us with the skirmish on the other, with an Orc Shaman with Fit of Gork as well as Edbutt. I believe that's Edbutt anyway. Let's have a little look. It is indeed, and Scroll of Shielding. And of course, we have the mighty Grom the Paunch on his chariot. Disgustingly hard to snipe out, but of course, he does come in with that weakness to fire, 25%. So I'm hoping those Hellblasters can certainly do a number over on him. He's going to be bringing all his good items, Lucky Banner, the Great in his ear, and the language of the boys. We also have double Orc Boar Boy Biggins. I'm not too mad about this whatsoever. A lot of people don't seem to like Pig Cav too much, but they can surround and pin in Volkmar, who's often a staple in this matchup. Looks like the mighty Hellblasters do indeed sing, and they are cutting through this unit of Black Orcs, doing some disgusting damage. Puffs of blood and smoke form and froth at the mouth of the survivors as these guys do get absolutely obliterated on the charge. Though we are going to be changing our targets here over onto Grom, who's taking cover in the trees. We're trying to get a little net on him and get those double Hellblaster volley guns, really loosen the ammunition on him, while Volkmar the Grim does drive forwards. He is hit by a smoke bomb, however, but he's quite happy to face all of these targets. We do manage to net Grom. He does pop Lucky Banner though, giving him that 40% damage resistance. And unfortunately for us, this is the weakness of the Hellblaster volley gun. Much like the Organ gun, it can kind of struggle to shoot over hills or for its own troops. And all we're ending up doing is shooting these blessed spearmen in the back of the dome. A couple of shots making it through, but nothing too fancy. And now the Greenskin swarm is upon us. Greenskins, arguably the best swarming faction in the entire game. Black Orcs are punching through this right-hand side as nasty Skulkers do skulk into our back lines. And a big Foot of Gork comes down, obliterating one of our Hellblasters. We have been able to fend off the Goblin Wolf Riders who were spawned in the back of us, desperately trying to keep them away from this last Hellblaster, who is lighting up Grom now, doing some massive burst damage to him, down to 2,700 health. Sigma Sons as well are dancing their way over here to try and help support as the Warrior Priest clears up some of those Wolf Riders that were pressurizing us in the back line. Apart from that though, the Black Orcs as well as the nasty Skulkers do continue to push through this right-hand side. We simply don't have the troops to stop them, so we are forced to use a net of Amantalk. And I'm not even running with the Hellblaster despite being so close to the enemy. I'm really trying to get as many volleys as I can into Grom to try and finish him off. But Grom is one of the toughest and tankiest lords in the entire game. Rolling away, cackling, he shall be healing up with his regeneration. If we look elsewhere through the battlefield, Halberdiers and Spearmen are quite beleaguered at the moment. We do have a little few good things going for us though. Volkmar the Grim with Grand Shield of Faith and the Grand Hammer of Sigma is fighting tough up against the Black Orcs, and the brave men of Sigma, surrounded by larger and scarier foes, deciding to fight rather than flee. Looks like some of the Orc Boar Boys are starting to push through that central formation as well, trying to get into our juicy back line, which has been completely overrun by this point. Looks like the second Hellblaster has indeed gone down, and there goes our sneaky schemes. Grom still intact, Scroll of Shielding going down on him, keep him nice and topped up. Spearmen have fast protection going down on them at the moment, trying to stand up against the wild pumped Blackhawks is going to be pretty tough, and the ever-present Skirmish Corps is scuttling through the back line, trying to eat up our troops who are desperately trying to come back into the fray. Some Halberds going in for a final last charge, but just getting pinged in the face by arrows, point-blank range, not a good day for them, and they will certainly be falling back where possible. War Priest trying to hold the line, has jumped in onto some Orc Boar boys over on this side, trying to stem the tide of enemies and rally these Spearmen and Sigma Sons together and surround Grom and the rest of the leadership. Looks like an Edbutt is coming, although it does seem to catch more of his friendly fire than our troops, so it is enough to break the Spearmen, so a worthy cause indeed. Down this far side, the Light Wizard is kicking and punching and screaming a prayer ripped from his lips as he does run away from these Blackhawks, cursing the day they stepped foot in his territory. Volkmar the Grim is coming for that Grom the Paunch booty though, pushing his way through the enemy where possible, running after some nasty Skulkers. Scroll of Shielding is currently popped on him as well, so he's not going to be taking too much damage from the range contingency of my opponent, and he is starting to run relatively low on ammunition. Despite this, Bounce Power is massively against us as Volkmar pretty much stands alone. However, we are going to get some huge bombardments coming down. The Blackhawks taking an absolute pounding. Nice micro by my opponent though. Nasty Skulkers do manage to fall back away from the worst of it as the Warrior Priest also calls down the Fury of Sigmar from the skies. But it looks like he is indeed going to break, leaving us with just Volkmar. Scroll of Shielding is still active, and we're going to get a really lovely banishment here on all these Blackhawks and Nasty Skulkers, trying to break them off the field, and it looks like one unit is indeed going to break down just to 15 models. They will probably end up shattering. Grom the Paunch going through the fire and the flames, but he does have his lucky banner with him, going to keep him nice and safe. Volkmar desperately trying to hunt him down. Of course, we do magic and fire damage. Scroll of Shielding still on us, as well as all our battle prayers, but Grom sneaks his way clear. Orc Boar Boy Biggins do now come for a surround, and it is looking pretty bleak. A few warriors of the Sigma Sun variety are going strong here in the mist, if we can try and find a few of them. Oh my god, have they all been killed to the last man? Nope, they're still fighting. 5 models left, just kind of dotted along, getting shoved over and trying to hack apart Wolf Riders where possible. The mighty Volkmar down to just 550 health. It looks like he is doomed. We're desperately trying to see if we can survive for another bombardment, but we have a long wait yet. Grand Shard of Faith keeping us going a little while longer, but the Green Menace has completely surrounded us. Balanced Power thinks we have absolutely no chance, but as long as one Son of Sigma remains, the Empire shall fight to the bitter end. Volkmar may have fled, but we have some mighty warriors left standing. Apparently there's 5 of these guys, so one of them is lost in the wilderness somewhere. There he is, pushing forward, going for that final glorious charge, but Grom, pumping and cheering himself into the battle, does come in and collapse on our beleaguered forces, and my undying hatred of Greenskins does indeed grow. I have grown to loathe them over the last couple of weeks, and it looks like it's going to be another nail in our coffin as the Sigma Suns do collapse. Really fun game, very well played to my opponent there, Bode Bubba. We've had him on the channel a few times recently. We've got some more games as well up against him that may well be getting shown on the channel. Very well played though. Unfortunately, our little gambit of the Warrior Priest giving the fire damage to the Hellblasters was thwarted by a nasty little ridgeline, and when we managed to net Grom, we weren't able to punish him. Perhaps we would have been able to assassinate him, perhaps not. Who knows? But I hope you guys enjoyed this wild one and kind of crazy tactic attempt. If you did, feel free to give the video a big old thumbs up and subscribe for more Total War Warhammer content. We do drop new videos every single day, as well as a stream once or twice a week. Down below in the description you can find links to my Discord when you can send me replays, as well as links to my Patreon and other such sites. Massive shout out as well to Michael, who is one of the new patrons who joined just the other day. But anyway, for the builds and the damage value, the mighty Volkmar the Grim doing pretty solid work, up to 144 kills, 2,778 damage value, 16k damage dealt, glorious stuff by him. War Priest faring a little bit worse, but of course his job was to buff up the Hellblasters, who despite the fact only got a couple of volleys off, actually performed okay. 1,500 damage value on this one, the other one getting 440, not paying for itself, but of course the other one did, so you lose some, you win some, and I think it could be a really nice combination. The current problem up against Greenskins is every time I face them, it's roughly the same build with 1 or 2 changes. So for example, it's always a load of goblins, always a load of skirmish cavalry, and always Grom the Paunch. At least 9 times out of 10, occasionally you will see Skarsnik. And then you kind of have free reign to bring whatever you want. I really do like Bode Bobber's triple Black Orcs here, which is really quite unexpected in this matchup, and the Orc Boar Boy Biggins to help pin in enemy troops. But this could have easily been Trolls, it could have easily been a bucket ton of Savage Orc Biggins, for example. It's always one or two kind of these combinations back and forth, so it is very risky going for the double Hellblaster because it is really preparing for the Trolls and that fire damage you can inflict on them. Silver Bullets also got overwhelmed despite the fact we had a bucket ton of Spearmen and Halberds to try and protect the line. None of them, of course, performed too good. Their jobs to hold back the enemy, but there simply wasn't enough of them despite the fact we did go very wide. And that's because Greenskins have so much push and kind of pull all across the whole battlefield. They always go really wide and have so much punch to boot left in them. Go on the paunch, 66 kills, 881 damage value. Not quite doing as amazing as usual, but still plenty left to give and a lot of room left to regenerate at the end game. Orc Shaman, glorious foot of Gork to destroy one of those engines of war, 1000 damage value. Apart from that, Goblins, of course, are just there to be annoying. The Nasty Skulkers performed really well. 112 and 103 kills. Getting into the back line, surrounding Volkmar and doing some nice work. The Black Orcs as well. 1.3k damage value, 1,570 here. Of course, the other unit fared a lot worse, but they were obliterated early on by the double Hellblaster. Goblin Wolf Riders did get shut down, unfortunately couldn't sneak into the back line. They managed to destruct enough of my forces that then the Orc Boar Boy Biggins could push their way through the front line, getting some pretty good damage value on them as well. 788 here, 1,567 on the other. And of course the Sneaky Skirmishers always doing good and being a pain in the butt of whoever they are coming up against. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed. Until next time, peace, peace. And as always, stay awesome.